Okay everyone, Vintage Sewing Machine Garage here. We are back, this time with the top of the cabinet for the white rotary machine that I have restored. You've seen it in all the videos. And this is the cabinet. I told you I really love this walnut cabinet, but someone obviously didn't love it at some point over his lifetime. And like many, of course, it has, just like it had on the underside, has a few areas where the lacquer is worn away. Again, this looks possibly like a water ring. It's hard to know exactly what has happened to these tables over the years, but I'm going to do the same thing with this that I just did to the that maple table for the Singer 185J. And again, I'm not refinishing this table. I am not covering the whole table with a new layer of this shellac. This, of course, is the Zinsser or Bullseye shellac, and this is the clear version, not the amber, although you can certainly get the amber and try it if you want. The amber has a bit of a, just like it sounds, like it has a bit of an, kind of an orange goldish tone. And what I'm doing here is the same thing I did with the 185J. I'm taking shellac and I'm simply touching these areas that apparently have lost a good bit of their lacquer finish. And again, when I treat the top of this table with Restore Finish, if I don't do this, then all of these areas that you see that look very light, it's down to the bare wood, there may be some residual, resin in there, but the problem is that those areas will get very dark with the Restore Finish, and it'll look, instead of having light scratches, it'll look like dark scratches. And, it's never going to be completely, even. There's no such thing as that really in wood finishing, but I want it to have a little bit less of this darkening effect when I go with the Restore Finish. So now you can see, notice, let's see, see if I'm picking this up here. I'll move the camera over and you'll see here's an area in the light, it looks much lighter, and you can see just as I come in with the shellac product, it is looking darker. Now the inside that I've done, I thought, well, maybe that's just because it's wet, but even after it's dried, remember, the varnish is going to reflect light differently, and so it changes the way it appears. Now, you can still see it, but it's much less. In my theory, and we're going to test that when this is dry, I'm going to be coming back with the Restore Finish to see if it is a little more forgiving for how it makes the table look, because, make sure I'm not blocking your view there, because I have come in and, again, filled in some of these little porous areas with the shellac. This is simply to improve the consistency of how this finish appears. And again, this is walnut, it's gorgeous. And I really want to bring the top back to a place where, again, the idea is not to strip it and redo it, but to, give it a freshening, if you will. And here I'm showing you all the side, just like the back of the table. The side is in much better shape. Sometimes the fronts get beat up, but it's really the tops of the tables that take the brunt of the wear. And this is usually because it's come into the hands of someone who probably didn't originally pay for this. And, over the years, people used it for all sorts of things. They end up in storage sheds, in garages, in basements. If anyone put this in an attic, they were really strong, because I think I've told you guys how heavy this table is without the machine. It has got to be one of the best built tables I've ever seen. And I'm including any piece of furniture, whether it was sewing machine, cabinet, or otherwise. But anyway, I've been doing a little sewing on the rotary here lately. I've been doing some mending. And I just typically use the machines I have in inventory until they sell. But anyway, you are now looking at the top of the white rotary walnut table. Again, it's not finished, but this is kind of a prep. Think of this shellac as sort of a priming of the wood surface so that we can get some of that porousness of the surface. We want to reduce that a bit, and hopefully that's going to help us when it comes time to come back with the restore finish and see if we can't spruce this old table up and get it a little bit more of its beauty back, if you will. I don't have to do this. I'm essentially a sewing machine restorer, but I like doing this because I feel like if the table looks a little better, maybe people will take better care of it, because it's definitely worth caring for. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. This is part of the series of cabinet, sewing cabinet and table restoration. I've got more to come, but anyway, wanted to get this done, and then tomorrow all of the shellac should be dried and cured well enough for my going back with the restore finish product, and we'll see how that works out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next installment. Bye now.